All right, let's talk about lesson 5-6. We're going to graph linear inequalities. So my first two slides are about old things. Let's do some review. If I have x is less than 2, and I'm graphing that on a number line, remember that I had 2 and its neighbors, open dot, and I colored to the left. X is greater than or equal to 4. Here's 4 and some neighbors. That was a colored in dot, and I shaded to the right. So these two had open dots, these two had closed dots. All right, let's do some review on how to graph things. So in this equation right here, y is equal to 2x plus 1. The 1 was my first dot on the y-axis. The 2 was my slope, up to right 1, up to right 1, and then connect the dots. Sometimes we had equations that look like this. They were not ready to graph right away. We have to rearrange them. So this was slope-intercept form. This is standard form. We have to change it into slope-intercept form. So the first thing I'm going to do is move my 4x to the other side. I get 3y equals negative 4x plus 15. Then I need to divide everybody by 3. Cross out what's my answer, and let me give myself some more space here. And so I end up with y equals negative 4/3 x plus 5. Now I can do what I did up here. I can make my first dot be at 5 on the y-axis, and I can go down 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, right 3. I could also, remember, negative 4/3. I could also go up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and left 3. So I use my slope to get my other dots, connect them, draw some arrows. Now let's put both of those ideas together. I have an alligator mouth, but it kind of looks like something I know how to graph. So my first dot is going to be down here at negative 4. Up 1, right 3, up 1, right 3. I could also go down 1 and backwards 3. Then I look at this alligator mouth. If I have one of those, instead of calling it open dot, it's going to be a dotted line. If I have alligator mouths that look like this, it's going to be a solid line. So in this case, I've got a dotted line. So I go dot, 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 dot. Then I have to shade or color. I'm either going to color this part of the graph, shade this part of the graph, or I'm going to shade this part of the graph. So let me erase those. When it says less than, does this section or region, does this feel less than, or does this feel less than? And we're kind of just going off of our gut, to be honest with you, but to me, this feels less than. So what we're saying is that any dot in the green area is an answer, all the way up to this boundary line, but not including the boundary line because it doesn't include the equal sign. Any of those are answers. Now, if we don't want to just trust our gut, we need a little bit more reliability than that. Let's pick a dot somewhere in the green section. So maybe we decide to pick this dot right here, 3, negative 5. So we're going to test out 3, negative 5 and see if it works. If it works, if it makes a true statement, then we shaded the right section. But if we get in a pickle and we get something that's wrong, then we shaded the wrong way and we just erase it. Okay, so 3, negative 5 is our ordered pair. Well, that's X and that's Y. And, oh, look up here. I have an X and a Y. So let's erase and replace. Negative 5 is less than 1/3 of 3 minus 4. Is negative 5 really less than 1 minus 4? Is negative 5 less than negative 3? The answer is yes, so we picked correctly. Do you have to do that every time? No. If you're feeling really confident, then you can shade the section you think that should be shaded. But if it comes to a test or a quiz and you want to know for sure, then you try this trick. Pick any dot. I could have picked this dot. Let me do a different color. I could have picked 8, negative 4. I could have picked negative 6, negative 7. I could pick any dot that's down in that green section and stick it in, erase and replace, and see if I get a true or a false statement. All right, if you'd like to try this one by yourself, pause the video, try graphing it, decide if it should be solid or dotted, decide where it should be shaded, and then hit play and I'll reveal the answer. Does your line look like mine? I started at 4. I went down 2, right 1, down 2, right 1. And once I knew the pattern, I did up 2 and left 1. Did you do a solid line? Since it has this underneath of it, the line should be solid. And did you shade this section? Y's are greater than. Greater than in this case is over here. These guys would be less than. All right, that's it for this video.